A lot of decision making and policy making in government now is evidence based. That is, they want to connect their decisions to some evaluation of the science of the problem. And I think that's where we have been particularly useful.
The benefit to the agency is very much about the evidence, having stronger evidence on which to base their decision making. This means that the management decisions they make in the environment are much more likely to be effective.
If you're including social scientists in the actual development of those questions and the framing of those problems, then you create more possibilities both for exploring the problems as the research progresses, but also in generating findings which may be more acceptable to policymakers.
How do you think the university can help government agencies?
Well, as you know, with the cuts in public spending, both the Environment Agency and Defra are reduced in staff numbers and also reduced in technical capability. So they're going to have to rely on some technical expertise, and my belief it'll have to come from the universities in order to develop the evidence base that they need.
Well, that requires us to understand what their issues are as much as them to understand how universities work,
Absolutely,
doesn't it?
And that's a learning process for the Environment Agency as much as for universities to find out how each other work. And that, as you know, David, is something that is not easy to do.
No, but we have put a lot of time and effort, haven't we, over the years into working with the Environment Agency.
And I think the agency and Defra are going to have to put as much time into understanding how universities work and what research capability would be useful to them in the future.
Of course, this is why I'm being seconded into Defra. Under the knowledge transfer scheme, I'm going into Defra to try and understand what their issues are and help them see what opportunities we can provide to them. So hopefully this will work out in the long run and build this relationship between universities and Defra.
Well, if we go back to the example of contaminated land and groundwater pollution of 10, 15 years ago, where when I was in the Environment Agency, we had very little understanding of the science behind how contaminants moved and the risks they posed to people and the environment. And our collaboration that we had at that time was highly instrumental in producing a lot of the guidance that is now run-of-the-mill for most people who are working in this field.
And I think we did several things at the same time. So we did research and we tried to understand these processes better, but we also trained people.
Yes.
So we produced people through doing research who were then able to go and work in consultancies and in government agencies and bring that knowledge to bear. And we also ran training courses, so people knew how to use the guidance day to day.
And it's those consultants who are actually the bridge between academia and the end user practitioner, the industry that is the cause of the problem in many ways in contaminated land. Yes. They actually are the conduit, perhaps more so than bodies like the Environment Agency.
Well, yeah, consultants are very important, but actually academics can, if they get the right frame of mind, be directly useful to government. I mean, they are, in a sense, wise people in that they have a huge amount of experience of the issues that they're dealing with and are able to contribute directly if they're asked.
I think Sheffield have been particularly good at the collaboration with both industry and bodies like the Environment Agency. Most of the people that I've been involved with in Sheffield have been keen for their science to be taken up for the public good. And they also seem to be quite happy to collaborate with each other. I think that's quite unusual for many academic institutes in the UK, and Sheffield have been at the forefront of doing that.
And we also have close links with commercial enterprises too. So other members of the team, other than you and I, work closely with the water companies. And we've all worked quite closely with engineering consultants at various times, specifically because we want to try and get them to adopt the kind of new ideas that we're producing.